Hello, everyone, and welcome to Grip Lock, Foundation Disc Golf's weekly podcast. I'm Hunter, joined as always by Konner and Silas, because it's not as always prank joke, because I pranked myself. I almost said Trevor anyways. Trevor's on vacation. He's at the beach enjoying a little time off while
we needed a little break from him. He did the Ezra diet last week. A lot of beans.
Yeah, he ate a lot of beans. If you want to catch that, I think it's going to be on our Patreon, the vlog that he did for documenting all of that, so you can check that out. And patreon.com/Foundation Disc Golf and join the Heiser Club. There's a lot of other benefits. Today's show, we're going to be recapping the Preserve, going over our power ranking update, a little Thomas trivia, Celebrity Pro-Am. Silas is coming to Charleston, and my first MVP round, so you're not going to miss today's show. But first, a quick word from our sponsors. Today's show is brought to you by Legacy Discs. Legacy Discs is bringing back their Confidence Clash this July. The Confidence Clash is a fun way to run a 3-disc challenge style event in your area and be able to raise funds for your local club or course. Players packs include 2 premium discs and 1 baseline putter of your host's choice, along with a Legacy towel and sticker sheet. In addition to the players pack, winners will receive a very nice winners pack. Ooh. For more information about the Clash and how to run or participate in one, please visit legacydiscs.com/cc22. Again, that's legacydiscs.com/cc22. And remember to play with confidence. And you know what? If you're looking at running one, I would highly recommend it, because you could be the guy that introduces the guy that gets hooked on Legacy, because Legacy is very underrated.
It is. I was about to say the same thing. It's super underrated. Whenever we did the video, I was very surprised on how good all the discs felt. So, and also, insider from Dave at Gateway says that Legacy has the best quality molds.
Oh, he did say that.
Disc golf company.
He did say
the
that.
Actual metal molds they make the discs with.
Yeah, so I would definitely, if there's one near you, I would definitely play in a Confidence Clash. And if you're looking for a fun way to raise some funds for your local course or club, and probably a lot of people haven't tried Legacy around you, this is a great opportunity. Try some new discs, have a good time, and who doesn't love a 3-disc challenge? So legacydisc.com/cc22 and play with confidence. All right, the Preserve went down this past weekend, and boy, was it fun. It was a pretty great event.
I got chills.
Let's talk through. I'm just quickly run through the results, then we'll go through some storylines. So
Sounds good.
On FPO, we had Paige Pierce take it down, and then Missy Gannon and Ella Hansen both tied for second. And then on MPO, we had Bradley Williams taking it down. If you're new to the sport, you might have no idea who this guy is. Don't worry, you'll know his name here after this podcast.
It's Bradley.
It's Bradley, and his last name's Williams. Ricky Wysocki came in second, and then Kyle Klein and Simon Lizotte tied for third. Let's just talk FPO first here. Paige Pierce, she didn't run away with it, but she wasn't really pressed in the final round. I was watching it. I don't really remember any moment where I felt like she was going to lose it. She didn't shoot a great final round. I think Katrina Allen shot like about a 6 under or something like that. And I think Paige barely shot under par the final round, but she had shot so good the first 2 rounds, it didn't matter. And Kat was far back. So there was no one really pushing her. But when it was all said and done, this was Paige's 70th Elite Series or major victory, which is the most of anyone in the sport's history.
That's crazy.
Apparently, it was 54 and 16 was the breakdown. 54 Elite Series, 16 major wins.
Wow,
that's
huge.
Wild. But it wasn't, like I said, wasn't quite the blowout like we saw last year. But Paige actually hit that mark that we saw last year of 19 under. So last year she lost by 10 when Kristen went 19 under. This year, we talked about on the preview show, I don't quite know if the FPO course played harder. The MPO course definitely played harder. But with the wind out there, it played about the same difficulty or possibly harder, and Paige just improved by 10 strokes and was able to walk away. And yeah, like I said, she didn't really need anything special the final day to hold onto the lead. And a lot of that was the wind. It made it hard for players to really push her, which made the course with the wind played where like you just get a bunch of pars for FPO and you're going to be okay. Because I think she had a few bogeys, few birdies. And I was going to say,
I'm kind of surprised that she shot 10 strokes better, because I feel like she's not doing as good this year as she did last year. But I think we say that every year around this time. We're like...
Here's the thing about Paige. I saw people online, someone said something about like, I posted about her 70th Elite Series / major win. And one of the responses was talking about like, oh, there it is. Like, she's the GOAT. There's no question about it. And someone else was like, well, hold up. Like, she's not having that good of a season, blah, blah, blah. Paige is similar to Paul, right? Where you just have this expectation of excellence.
Yeah,
so
of dominance.
when they slip up a little bit, you immediately think they're playing way worse than they are.
You're right.
Because if we take a step back and look at the season as a whole, she has 2 Elite Series victories and has won the only major so far. The next major is actually coming up this weekend, U.S. Women's in Wisconsin. So be interesting to see if she's able to go. If she wins the first 2 majors, I mean, no one's touching her.
Yeah.
Kristen possibly will be at this major. It's still a little bit up in the air. Obviously, she couldn't travel to the preserve because her partner Silver got COVID. She's been testing herself, and as I've heard, she has not tested positive yet. So if he gets to where he's testing negative as well, and she's still testing negative, there's a chance she can make it, but it's still up in the air a little bit. We'll probably have we will have a USW DGC preview show this week. So we'll talk through all of those storylines once they develop a little bit more. But yeah, I mean, when you take a step back, is she having the best season out of anyone in FPO? Probably not, just because of Kristen's consistency. But the major win definitely adds a lot to her resume for this season. And when you have 2 Elite Series wins as well, I think Paige is having a better season than a lot of people think. It's just not that standard that we're used to.
Yeah, there's also a good bit of season left.
Yeah, and her and Paul also, well, mainly Paul on the East Coast play very well. So it'll be interesting to see kind of what happens. But Bradley Williams, on the other hand, this is his first Elite Series win since the first ever Pro Tour event at Maple Hill in 2016. And that's his only other Elite Series win. Back then it was an NT/Pro Tour. This was just Elite Series, which happened to be 6 years ago exactly this weekend.
It's crazy.
And Paige Pierce also won that event.
That's crazy.
So Paige Pierce and Bradley Williams won on the 6-year anniversary of their win.
This has been my favorite ending of a tournament this year.
Yeah, it was pretty thrilling. But first, I mean, So Bradley Williams, if you go back and you watch like 2015, 2016 coverage and stuff, especially in like the Texas area, you're going to see Bradley Williams a lot.
Yeah.
This guy back then, even today, was known as like the smoothest thrower of the disc, all of this stuff. There was a few events that went down that kind of took him away from the sport temporarily. He was actually suspended by the PDGA for a little bit. Whether that was an overreaction or not, that was something that players were very vocal about. Back in 2016, I remember that. There's even some like somewhat protest that went against PDGA, but that's all water under the bridge at this point. He has come back and slowly kind of stepped back up to where he was. And this was kind of like a moment, at least for me as a fan, of like him getting back to where he was in 2015, 2016.
Yeah.
Because
they had said, who is it that he's been like training with?
Oh, Ricky.
Was it Ricky that
he's been like traveling with Ricky, and he's been doing a lot with.
Because I noticed in the commentary they said that he had been training and doing disc golf strong. Yeah. And so so he's always been a very athletic guy. He's always been one of the smoothest backhand throwers of the disc. He's always shot shaping is just crazy.
One thing I loved about his interview after was he actually talked about. Like he was talking, the way he talked about a throw, you can tell that he thinks a lot deeper about his backhand than a lot of people do. Maybe not a lot of Tourian pros, but Tourian pros don't really talk about it that much because he was talking about like how, early in the round he was just getting a lot of pop, a lot of spin. He kept using like I was getting a lot of spin on my disc and stuff like that. And he kept using phrases like that, like it was really like snapping out of my hand. I was getting a lot of spin.
He talks about footing a lot.
Yeah, like he's a very meticulous. Think through his throws type of player, very angle control.
Yeah.
And then he felt like he said that he felt like something was like pulling him through the course. Like he was basically it's one of those moments in golf is when it happens the most, but in any individual sport, really in any sport, it's kind of like a flow state is what seemed like he was describing, where basically you just like many golfers have described it. Tiger Woods described it multiple times, where it's almost like an out of body experience where like it doesn't even feel like you're throwing the disc anymore. Like you're just, or for Tiger, hitting the ball anymore. Like it's just your muscle memory and everything takes over, and it's just like a crazy experience.
Yeah.
I'd love to feel it one day, where you basically
maybe with gyro, man.
You just can't mess up. Like things just go throughout the round, and you just
that's very cool.
That's wild. I didn't even know he existed.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like a new players like Silas, I assumed that was going to be it because like. And they called him the veteran's veteran on tour. Which I thought was funny because he doesn't seem that old. I don't think he is. I would more put Greg Barsby in that category. But I think Bradley fits that thing of everyone.
Like only like pros know how good Bradley is.
Everyone on tour that's been on tour for an extended period of time knows who Bradley is, and they would probably all say he's one of the best backhand throwers in the game. But a new player to the sport would have no clue who he is.
He's not a consumer favorite.
I was so surprised. His interview, he was just so calm.
That's what I was going to say.
He was so just like mellow. Like,
well, I think that's a big part of it was, so like some of the history with Bradley previously was he didn't have as good of a reputation in the 2015-2016 era.
Yeah.
Even before then, because he had like a little, actually it was almost worse than Nico outbursts to a certain extent, like kicking baskets. He shoulder checked a guy. That was the whole controversial one. There were things like that. And then that's when he got suspended by the PDGA, all this. And then he's went through like anger management, all this stuff to where now completely different player. Well, same player, completely different personality. Like, but before he was kind of electric because it wasn't like watching Nico, but to a certain extent it was. Because like there is even clips, you can find them on YouTube. Again, completely different player now. So this is like you'd be looking into a different past of Bradley. So don't take, when you watch these old clips of him, don't take that as like, oh man, this guy sucks. But back then, there was like clips of him like getting under people's skin, getting into their like, I forget exactly what it was. There's one I'm thinking of where like they're getting scores and he was like getting into people's heads, like making them repeat their scores. Like he was kind of a dirty player to a certain extent back then. But he was very, very good. And his throws were incredible. Then I remember him coming back to the disc golf scene, and he's a completely different personality when he's on the course. Just super calm, super mellow. You don't really see him react a lot one way or the other. He just is like very present. He also seems like a much more fun person to play with nowadays on cards and stuff. It seems like a lot of players want to be around him when previously that wasn't the case. So like he's done a complete 180, which is awesome because I think it's much cooler to see him win as this person than like when he won previously. He
feels like a redemption.
Yeah, when he won previously, he was somewhat like the villain of disc golf to a certain extent. And so, yeah, very great to see him.
I noticed that whenever he was like being so calm during that interview, first of all, I thought the questions were really good. They were like just pretty decent, normal questions.
Yeah.
And I think he had one of the best interviews I've seen so far because he had real answers. It wasn't just like, feeling good, like crazy, man. And then, I don't know, I was just throwing well.
Well, he was just he's so composed.
Yeah, that
he's always composed.
And I was wondering, because whenever he just looked so calm, and Silas brought up, he was so calm. And I was like, oh, I think he's just in shock. And then Anthony, he was like, well, it seemed like my footing was pretty decent. I was getting a lot of good footing, was getting popping. I was like, he's not in shock.
Well,
he's just very collected.
Is he hasn't won on a big stage a lot, but he used to clean house in B tiers, C tiers, A tiers,
that's right.
To where he's won a ton of events. To where like sometimes when a player wins on a pro tour stage, it's by far their biggest win in their career, which this I think is Bradley Williams' biggest win in his career.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's still like they haven't won in a long time or something like that. He was like very dominant in Texas, Oklahoma, that whole area, to where he has won a lot. So it wasn't like to him where this was a massive win. His previous most he'd made winning a tournament was $3,500 in the A tier. The most he won in the Elite Series was $2,500 back in 2016. This was $8,000 is what Terry said.
Huge difference.
So this is like the most he's won at a tournament. It's safe to say that.
One thing I wanted to add, Hunter, is that this proved your point. One thing that you talked about on the preview show was that the main key to victory with this course was to throw well.
Yeah.
Bradley Williams, one of the best throwers in our sport, best shot shaper. We've said it multiple times. He's known as being an incredible shot shaper, having that incredible backhand.
Yeah.
And he won. And that, which is way crazier than AB winning.
Yes.
If AB had won, it would have been way less surprising, even not being there.
Yeah. Now, other thing that we talked about previously that finally happened this tournament that made the live coverage electric. It could have been slightly more electric, but it just is how the cookie crumbled. Was Ricky was the one pushing him, and he was pushing him from chase card.
Yeah.
So you were seeing like a hole or two ahead, Ricky hitting ridiculous putts.
Yeah.
From like, I mean, he hit one that was like 65 feet from his knee. He hit another one that was like, might as well have been a throw in. And it just, everything was lining up that I was like, Ricky's going to win. And what was happening coincidentally at the exact same time, which according to Bradley's interview after, I don't know what he likes being called. We're going to call him Bradley. According to Bradley's interview after, he didn't know this was going on, but like timing wise, it seemed like he did. Because every time you were watching live, Ricky would hit a massive putt and then Bradley would have a chance to still make a birdie and like clank it off the front cage. You'd be like, oh my word. Like now Ricky and him are tied again. This is like hole 14 on. It would just happen time and time again. Then we get to hole 17. Ricky throws, it looked like a sake bomb slammer on a forehand flex line. Good shot, great line. So I love hole 17 at this course because it's that tight wood hole, really short. It's like hole 17 at USDGC where, but easier, but it's like a shot that no one should mess up. Yeah. On that level of play, no one should mess up. But then you add all the pressure and you get to a hole, it's like, I should never mess this up. People mess it up left and right. And I love a hole like that. As hole 17, I would hate it if it was hole 18. As hole 17, so you saw Ricky go long. He's like behind this tree, but he has an open putt. And so everything leading up to this moment is like Ricky's going to hit this putt. That'll put him at 31 under. Then if he birdies on hole 18, 32 under, that's going to make Bradley basically go like birdie or birdie eagle. I forget exactly what hole he was on. It was going to make him have to get some birdies down the stretch. It was going to put pressure on him. But then Ricky clanked it off the cage, and like you could see it, like Ricky kind of like that was the moment I think Ricky first was like, I might not win, because up to that point he was just on another level. Yeah. And then he taps out the 3, and then on hole 18 Ricky still could have went eagle, got to like 32 and made Bradley have to do something, or that might have put
to, like,
Ricky
tie it up.
Yeah, it would have. Ricky would have been setting the pace.
It would have gone to a playoff.
It would have made Bradley have to eagle.
I think it would have made Bradley have to eagle going into 18. But Ricky threw his drive. He crushed his drive, but he turned it over too much into the tall stuff. Still went for the eagle because he had to. Well, he didn't have to, but in his head he did. And then fell, threw it in the water.
That was definitely the play, though.
Yeah, it was again that shot of you go for it, like you're trying to take the win. What I thought was interesting is in the interview, Bradley, because like Bradley threw a great drive, and then the commentators are saying the correct thing, like, hey, he could bogey and be okay here, basically. Like, or I think he needed to par, or basically what it was. He was in a great spot.
On hole 18?
Yeah, he's a great spot.
Well, yeah, he could have just laid up.
Yeah.
Like, he just went for it.
He laid up, so he's there, and then the commentators are saying the right thing. He just needs to lay up a second time. Like, lay up with a putter or something like that, then go across. It's a par 5, so if you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you're going to be fine. No, he could have still birdied, actually, because he could have laid up the second shot and then went for it and had a birdie. And then he steps up with a distance driver. Because like the only thing that could have ended this tournament for him at this point was if he went in the water. Yeah. So why bring the water into play?
Which it was very much in play. You could, I mean, obviously.
And he just, I mean, look, good for him. He went for the green, got to where all he had to do was lay up, which he kind of ran it, but lay up his eagle bid and then tap out the birdie and really secure the win. But when he did the interview, they asked him, like, did you know Ricky was pushing you? And his answer, I was like, he got bad information, because his answer, he basically said something along the lines of like on the tee of 18.
No, he said after. He said I knew after my drive on 18.
Yeah, but then he said, so I knew like I have to go over the water. Is what he said in the interview, which made me, because I immediately was like, you got bad information. Yeah, you didn't have to go over that water. Yeah. So basically, which puts a little bit more into perspective, because he apparently, on that second shot, felt pressure, like he has to go across the water for some reason.
He must have had bad information.
You're either that, or he must have thought he needed a birdie and thought going across the water and just being safe is my easiest birdie play, when really he could have parred. Is what it came down to.
Yeah, he could have just laid up.
But it didn't matter in the end. He took it down, and it was a very, very entertaining, because we also had Simon and Kyle pushing at different points to get into there.
That was crazy. They both went OB on hole 18.
Yeah, I thought Terry said something along the lines of like, it's like they're both sprinting to the podium but tripping each other or tripping themselves or something like that. But yeah, so you had Kyle and Simon. They were kind of in it at certain points. As it got later in the round, it became less and less believable that they were going to be able to do it. For a second, I was like, Simon's about to win 3 in a row, and he would have been the only player in the history of the Pro Tour to win 3 Pro Tour events in a row, which is crazy. Top line Pro Tour, not Silver Series. Yeah. Final thing before we get into some points and then the updated power rankings is Silas sent out a little tweet.
Oh boy!
I want to grill him on this.
I have not seen this.
So Silas tweeted and said, "Why haven't AirPods been banned on the Pro Tour yet? I think it's a pretty unprofessional look for players." So
this tweet
break it down originally.
Originally, I was watching FPO.
Switch to your camera, man. They want to see you.
Sorry, Pete. I'm not used to that. So I was watching the Preserve, watching FPO, and I saw Paige Pierce with AirPods in. I was like, huh. Like I don't feel like I've seen her wear any type of headphones or anything before.
I don't think I've seen her do that either.
Yeah, but I was like, that's just it just looks unprofessional.
So other than looks,
yeah,
give me some reasons. Like, because optics are nothing. So other than looks, what is it? Like, why should a player...
I do agree. I do think it looks unprofessional, but that's not reason enough to ban
but
it.
why should they ban it? What's some reasons beyond it just you don't like how it looks? Because when you don't like how it looks, someone else might love how it looks.
Right. What if we had like something like the Paige Pierce incident? Like, we did have that. All right, so... No, here's what I'm thinking. And maybe this boils down to just like banning phones in general from players, because we had the incident of like Paige's caddy. You know, we had that like Kristen, her daughter thing.
Yeah,
like that should have never came up. So I think being fed intel is just giving a person the upper hand.
So you think someone could be like in her ear telling her?
Could be.
If there's someone in the gallery that's up the fairway.
Yeah,
they can give her information.
We talked about that on debate night. Some of like, it could get sneaky.
Yeah,
like if
for sure.
Because like I could have just like my dad out on the course, and he could be up by the basket, and like I'm just on a speaker. I'm on a call with him in my headphones, and I don't think this is happening with anyone, but it could be. And he's like, "Hey, Hunter, just a heads up, like ripping headwind up by the basket. You can't feel it on the tee, but like on your approach shot." You know, be aware of that. Like it's gonna flip up when it gets closer, and like give me a distinct advantage over other players. That's not reason enough, I don't think.
All right, what about like safety?
Expand on it.
So I don't know. You just have like
I'm just trying to get you.
Your eardrums?
I agree with you, Silas, but. When you throw a takeout, that's what I'm saying. When you throw a takeout on Twitter, you gotta have like.
I know. I wasn't expecting this.
No, people don't like the take.
Amount of feedback.
No, people don't like the take. But that's the thing is like when you put a like we need to change this takeout.
I should have reworded it. I should have reworded it to.
Well, no, if it's just optics though, that's always like surface level. No one's like because then it's just people disagree. So you have to have reasoning behind. As to why. So that's what I'm trying to get you to. Okay, it's like, why should they be banned?
Okay, so like on the cards, don't they have to like relay what score they got? Mm-hmm. So you would then have to try and get that person's attention when you're asking the scorekeeper, when they're asking the person, the player, hey, what'd you get? Might not hear them.
Yeah.
Then that could lead to a lot of confusion in scoring.
I think the big one you had said you'd mentioned safety, and I think you're on the right train of thought there because it's similar to like why it's illegal to drive with headphones in, although people do that all the time.
I'm not sure. Yeah, what is up with people doing
unless it became legal recently? Don't think it did. The reason it's illegal is because you need to be aware of your surroundings.
What if there's a siren?
It's like if there's an ambulance behind you and you're blasting music, and first off, you're driving a car by yourself. Why the heck do you need headphones in? Like, you got a speaker.
Like, does your
radio might not work.
Maybe their radio doesn't
If you have headphones, that means they're connected to your phone, which has a speaker. So I guess we're assuming that most of those people, their phone speakers and their radio are broken. So the only option's headphones.
I mean, I think most people just live with headphones on.
But even at that point, you can get a Bluetooth speaker cheaper than headphones.
Yeah. Well, I think people just are in this state where they live with headphones on. They don't want to talk to people.
AirPods, I understand. Like, you can have them in transparency mode and forget they're in and get in your car. But I've seen people with, like, over-ear, like, cans or whatever they're called. Like,
people
what we're wearing
to shut themselves off to the world. That's what it is.
But you're in a car.
I know.
You are literally in
shut
a room.
off.
There is no one that can get to you right now. You're in a car. Anyways.
Cold ears, man. Come on.
Safety, right? Sensitive. So on the disc golf course, what does that look like?
You're about to step on a snake.
Well, but I think
it's a bear. Watch out.
There's two main reasons I don't like headphones. Is one, all the players are meant to be engaged with their card. So if there's a lost disc or something like that, and I'm across the fairway and I have my headphones on, I'm zoned in, looking at my shot, and I'm bopping to my music, and three of the other three members of the card are over here looking for the lost disc. The timer doesn't start till I get over there. The whole card has to be looking. So if they're yelling, Hunter, 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 they can't really yell too loud because there's other people playing.
Yeah.
I'm zoned in, range finding my disc, whatever, not paying attention. That's an opportunity. That's something that headphones could cause, where if I didn't have headphones in, I hear my name, I immediately go, oh, they need help. Does that happen a lot? No, not right now. Could it happen? Very easily it could happen.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Secondary thing is you're in the fairway, someone throws a disc, they yell 4.
You get beamed in the head.
You get drilled in the head
Boom.
because you're wearing headphones. You don't know. Other things like people call you on a foot fault. People call you on, like, there's a lot of things that you need to be with your card. Like even an OB ruling.
Your card shouldn't have to try to get your attention if they want to say something to you.
Even an OB ruling could happen.
If they call you on a foot fault, you pick up your mini.
Yeah. It's a group decision when it goes back down. But again, it's just stuff that's like added problems that like, what is a headphone really doing? Because you can't really argue the advantage side, although I do think it's an advantage because if it's not illegal, every player has access to the same advantage.
Everyone could.
Because basically, like, I do think you play better when you have something to remove you from the pressure of the situation.
Yeah.
I think that, no headphones is definitely the way to go. And, I think that the biggest things, though, are like you need to be present with your card because of so many things in disc golf. It's a self-regulated, self-officiated sport. So many things require the card to all come together and talk through things. And removing yourself from the card like that removed you from a lot of those things to where there could be like you throw OB or someone else throws OB and the only reason it hit in bounds up there was it smacks a tree.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You have headphones in. You don't hear it smack the tree. So you're like, look, there's no way it crossed in. Look how far out in the middle of the water it is.
Yeah.
And then the person's like, did you not hear it? It hit the tree. You're like, no, I didn't hear it. Nah, dip, Sherlock. You're freaking blasting Skrillex in your ear. Like, of course you didn't hear it. So stuff like that. I think that's the route of why I personally think headphones should be banned. I agree it doesn't look good. I think the optics, no other sport, which that's an awful argument, but it's still one I go to of like, when every other sport does a certain thing and then we're different, there's some things that it's great to be different at with sports.
Yeah.
But when it comes to certain optics, like the optics of headphones, it immediately adds a like, I don't care bad boy vibe, no matter who it is. And like, that's not a vibe you ever really want to give off of like, I don't care about what I'm doing. Really, I think it's players care more about what they're doing and they're using headphones to escape the reality, the pressure of the situation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But the vibe it gives is the same vibe that like a teenager at dinner with headphones. Yeah, like a teenager at dinner with headphones in, you immediately look at that, like that kid doesn't give two craps what anyone around them is saying right now.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like on the disc golf course to me, is like whoever's wearing that, they're just trying to get through the round. They don't care. Yeah. Is what it looks like to me.
Yeah.
So optics wise, I fully agree, but I can see where people don't care about the optics. I think the safety rules calling that whole side, it's like you need to be there, need to be able to be present. And I think the headphones removes you from being able to be present at times.
I agree. Side note, I think that for our next video that we film, whenever Trevor's back in town, you should put AirPods in whenever you go on the tee. And he's just like, funny. But like, don't make it like a joke. And like, he's like, what are you doing? And you're like, I figured out whenever I played that round at New London, I just play way better with headphones in. And he's like, yeah, but we're shooting a video. You're like,
for the monthly match. Yeah. Like I can't
for the monthly match.
Yeah.
Do it. Yeah.
I can't lose this.
Can I go off on a little bit of a tangent?
Absolutely. A birdie tangent?
Yes. I always ask.
It's an inside grip lock joke, Silas.
You wouldn't get it. Silas.
We'll have one on debate night one of these days.
Yeah. But we'll have one on debate night one of these days. Yeah. I usually ask you guys what you think about the commentary. How was the coverage? What do you think about the commentary? Okay. Usually breaks out in a very long conversation that nobody.
I'm done talking about that ever again.
I would like to give. I have words. You have words too. Say your words.
All right, well, never mind. Doesn't matter what I say.
Do you mind?
No, I don't mind.
So usually Trevor talks about his opinion on it, which I'm always very interested in. So since Trevor's not here, I would like to give my opinion on the commentary.
Okay.
I like the Terry Nate Doss team.
Boom. Done.
I like it. I thought they did a good job.
No, yeah. They've been getting a lot better.
So I just am a fan of Nate Doss. I think he's cool. But also, I feel like that whole storyline, the last few holes, where I think they did a good job building tension, and it did not feel like there was bias. It felt like there was like, I feel like they did a great job of being like, okay, so this is what this means if he gets this shot in bounds.
Yeah.
And like whenever he was,
you knew exactly where he was at.
Yes, whenever he was throwing his second shot on hole 18, whenever Bradley Williams was throwing his second shot, I felt so much pressure because they did such a good job of like, obviously there wasn't a ton of danger involved for him there. Again, he didn't have to, he could have just laid up and it would have been fine, but they did a good job media wise building tension by saying the only thing he has to worry about right now is not throwing out of bounds.
Yeah.
That is the only thing he doesn't have to worry about. And me, as a player that's not a pro, I'm just thinking, if there's one thing I can't do whenever I'm throwing, and that's like the most important thing, I'm doing it. And I'm also thinking about how Bradley Williams hasn't, like, this is like a huge thing for him because he hasn't won anything in a long time. He's been out of the mix for a while. And like how important this win would be and how much pressure you would have on that. I feel like they did a great job building that up. And they also made it as like the least amount of confusing as possible. They made it make the most sense with Ricky being ahead of him.
Yeah.
But still making it feel like there was tension, even though we already know what Ricky's doing. They talked about how like, oh, well, now like Bradley Williams' fate is in his hands. Like it's his decision right now whether or not he wins this tournament. And
well, I think they did a
good job.
I think this weekend was a perfect example of why, if you're capable of watching live disc golf, it's great too. Mm-hmm. Obviously, post-produced is incredible that we have because there's no other way to be able to watch disc golf as quickly as we did. I think it was, I forget which tournament, but one of the tournaments recently, I couldn't watch live. There was no way I was gonna be able to watch live. And so I was very grateful to be able to wake up the next morning, boop, Jomez, watch it. And 30 minutes before my wife even wakes up, I've seen the round.
Yeah.
Great. So very good to have that. But you just miss the tension that was building between Ricky's performance and Bradley's performance live, because like Jomez will do a Jomez will do a good job of getting like other, like the footage from Gatekeeper, whoever, sometimes, and like throwing it in, be like, hey, this is what's going on right now. So you feel it. But when it's shot, like Lil Jon style, everybody, then you miss the buildup in between those shots, right?
Yeah.
And so basically that's what live provides, is it gives time to build. I think that's what live is starting to do a lot better job of, is their biggest downfall previously is actually their greatest asset, which is the time. Because when you go so fast, tension can't build.
Yeah.
If you do it right, and you have, the 4-hour round, if you use those 4 hours right, the tension builds so much to where when we were on holes, 15, 16, 17, 18, gripping TV. Because, did those holes take like an hour to get through? Yeah. Could I have watched the whole round in less time and post-produced? Yeah. But I'm glued to the screen. Like nothing else could take my attention away because it's constant back and forth where Ricky's hitting big putts, and now Bradley just missed a putt, and now Simon's back in this somehow. And like all these different storylines that you just, the time is what allows it all to build. I think they're starting to figure that out. The other thing I noticed this weekend, and I think they've been using it for a while, it just looked the best this weekend, was the like camera they cut to immediately, like reaction shot wise, they had like a really shallow depth of field, and like
they're just super zoomed in,
good.
very
also,
telephoto.
One thing I did, one other thing I did notice was on the specifically on the walk from 18 to the green, they had like a camera walking with Bradley. I thought it was good, built the tension.
Great. That's very, as much as people hate it, that's very golf-esque. That's what they do in golf a lot of times. And it is such a good tension building moment, especially
it shows the emotion.
Well,
like,
especially
obviously
like,
he didn't have much emotion, but
but especially if that was like he was walking up to make the putt or something, then that's what like they use in golf, like during the playoff and stuff like that. And like a lot of times they'll have a hot mic where you can like hear them talking to the caddy. I would love that type of shot on the walk from 16 to 17 USDGC. That type of thing where. Because, like, players are trying to get in the zone and get focused. And, like, you just start seeing, like, them just zone out. Like, when you walk 16 to 17 at USDGC, and it's a moment like Paul has the lead, or whoever, it's like a one-stroke game, or it's very close going into 17, that walk from 16 to 17, most of the time, you just see, like, killer game faces. Like, just dead straight. Sometimes, they'll, like, a few of them will try to, like, loosen it up and, like, joke back and forth. But most of the time, it's, like, it's probably a quarter of a mile walk from 16 to 17. It's close. I don't know. It's a long walk. But it's just like game face, like looking at the ground. No one talk to me. No one come near me. And you're just all thinking about 17. That type of shot on live coverage, like what you're saying they did on 18.
Yeah.
It does. It adds so much more, like it makes you feel a lot more like you're immersed in it, like you're there.
Yep.
I thought the live coverage did a great job this weekend.
I would even say if you had the option of watching a 30-minute back nine, like on Jomez, or 30 minutes of just hole 17 and 18 of the live coverage, like the next day, because it is cool how they post the whole live coverage on YouTube. I like that. I would even think it was worth it just to watch 30 minutes of live. Even though you're getting less stuff, you feel more involved in the tournament.
It's just I think that the biggest thing that made live and Jomez and all of these things butt heads, where like it felt like if one exists, the other can't.
Yeah.
Was they were both providing the exact same product when they shouldn't have been.
Yeah.
Because post-produce is like coverage of a single card. It needs to exist for that.
You're watching throws.
You're just watching the throws. Honestly, doesn't even really need commentary if it didn't want it. You're just watching the throws.
Serves a great purpose.
Yeah. But live is you're watching the story of the event. And like I was saying, live previously they didn't have the cameras and stuff to do it. So live was just following one card and there was so much downtime.
Yeah.
Now there's way less downtime and they're a lot more intentional with that downtime to where there are things that can be thrown in. And when done poorly, live sucks. When done poorly, live absolutely sucks, and you have to gruel to get through it. But when done
bad
right,
post is still watchable.
Yeah, because bad post is still just disc golf.
Yeah.
Whereas good live, though, there's nothing like it. Because then you can go. It's basically like you're at the event without being at the event. You feel the energy in the air and stuff like that. I think they did a good job this weekend.
I think that's a good point, that they don't necessarily have to be in competition with each other.
I think we've made that mistake many times. We might even be a reason that a lot of people thought they needed to be in competition with each other, because in our heads, it's kind of like when we were talking power ranking.
Thought they did.
It's like when we were talking power ranking, world ranking. And then eventually you just take a step back and you're like, two different things.
They're different things. Yeah,
like that's why I don't like the world rankings.
And even like the commentary, like the Jomez commentary, they've said is supposed to be more funny and like they're just supposed to not goof off, but just be more loose.
Yeah.
Whereas Disc Golf Pro Tour, they're more like, this is the facts. And that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and that's the thing is they're supposed to be two different things.
Official foundation statement. Sorry.
No, make one. I love it.
No, that was it. That was my statement. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Nice. Points after this weekend. I got a lot of points from MPO. I got like 6 points from MPO, a few points from FPO. I am now at 82 points. Konner cut into my lead a little bit. He's at 54 points.
I did okay. And my dark horse, Casey White. Thank you.
Trevor's chilling way back there at 43.
And I've got 83 points. So.
Okay, Silas is
in Silas
83.
Really jumped up.
I do owe Konner Wendy's, because I don't know if you realized Anthony Barella wasn't in the field.
He wasn't there,
and it was a basic mistake. It was a basic mistake. I looked at
That's
last year's.
what people called me in middle school.
I looked at last year's field, and Anthony Barella performed well. And Anthony Barella made a post about how like he's feeling great. You know, the next Pro Tour events, blah blah blah. I didn't think to check the field to see if he was in it.
Have you gone back and looked at the comments on the preview show?
Yeah.
Was there a lot of people saying?
A lot of people were like, "Hunter, you're an idiot."
I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah. Well, that's how I noticed it. Is I went and checked the comment space as soon as it came out, and someone was like, "Am I missing something? Anthony Barella's not playing." And I was like, "What?" And then I looked. I was like, "Hunter, how did you not check that? Like, how are you going to pick a guy and not even verify your pick?"
Oh, I wish we had forced you to make some kind of bet about.
Well, I owe you Wendy's, so you just let me know the day you want it.
I love Wendy's.
Do you want Wendy's today?
Yeah.
All right. I'll DoorDash it for you.
What? You just turned like a $7 meal into like a $35.
Well, I don't want to drive. I'll probably DoorDash Wendy's for myself.
Wendy's
too.
isn't real close. You're right.
Well, if we're all we'll DoorDash together.
I'm not paying for you.
I'll Venmo.
All right. I bought you Wendy's last week, Silas.
I know. I said I'll Venmo.
And then I Venmo'd Trevor to make up for rubbing the Wendy's in his face.
He doesn't mean it,
I just miss Trevor so much, dude. You don't even know.
It's a different vibe.
All right, power ranking update.
Hunter
I did
starts
these
crying during every grip lock. That happens every week.
I don't know why. It's just something about me. Something about the air.
Cute thing.
Power ranking update. This was no Trevor, so this is just me. I did this. I took it over.
Hunter's power rankings.
Not a ton of changes. Again, I don't remember if we factored Silver Series in previously, but you know me. I didn't factor any in because Silver Series or Silver Series.
Yeah.
So that's not factored in. So take that with a grain of salt. I don't know if Trevor would or not. Trevor can change these next week if he wants. FPO.
I'll text him.
FPO.
He said no.
Okay, FPO, we're starting at number 5. Missy Gannon stays there. No, FPO pretty much stays the same, but there is one move. So we have Missy Gannon 5th, Valerie Mandajano 4th, Katrina Allen 3rd. And I think it's officially time. Paige Pierce, I'm putting number 1. Kristen Tatar, number 2. Kristen's been gone for too long. Kristen's been gone for too long. Paige just won again.
Has Kristen won Preserve before?
Yeah, last
year.
I was about to say, because they showed a clip of her holding the trophy. I was like, what's happening?
Yeah. Also, that trophy is pretty sweet.
Yeah, cool. And they engrave their...
Like, and you get a ring.
Yeah, and well, that's new this year. Yeah, you get the
super cool trophy.
Ring with a diamond. For like, you literally get a diamond ring.
That's
Kale
cool.
Basically, Kale proposes to you if you win. And then
I would love to win that tournament.
And then the trophy
Preserve is my number one want to win.
The trophy, they just engrave your initials onto the bear somewhere.
That's cool.
So like over time, it's just gonna have initials all over.
That's gonna be sick.
Which is pretty sick. But I'm officially declaring Paige Pierce the number one player in the world until Kristen's back.
Deserved.
I think you have to, just because Kristen's
deserved
not here.
and preserved.
Deserved from the preserved. On the MPO side, new player has entered the top 10.
Oh.
This is a little controversial, I think, because there's a lot of people that could have done it, and I went off guts, not stats here.
It's Bradley Williams. He's
No.
number one in the world right now.
No, Kyle Klein, I'm putting at number 10 in the world. He bumps Drew Gibson out because Drew Gibson's not playing. I looked at his recent tournaments and compared them to people like Double G and a few other guys around him, and I feel pretty comfortable doing it.
I respect that.
Where Double G beat him 2 weeks ago, obviously at the Portland Open. Kyle Klein beat him this weekend with third place, second place, pretty much washed there. Then if you go back a few events, Kyle beats Double G in almost all of them.
I'm excited to see him up there, man.
Drew Gibson, he kind of fell down a little bit in the most recent one as Kyle Klein's been coming up. So I think for the power ranking's sake, recency bias, very heavy. We're going Kyle Klein in 10th. James Conrad stays 9th. Joel Freeman stays 8th. Paul McBeth stays 7th. Matty O stays 5th. I believe is how I had those. That might all have changed. Gannon Burr up to 4th place. He's been playing very solid this whole year. I think he deserves it. And I also think it's time. Chris Dickerson has knocked off his reign. He's been gone for too long. Chris Dickerson is now the 3rd best player in the world according to the power rankings. And
that's fair.
Who knows, he could slip down to 4th next week.
I miss him.
We all miss him.
When is he coming back?
Idlewild, I believe he comes back.
Posted his
I believe he comes back at Idlewild.
Part 2 schedule.
Which Idlewild, I think, is the next Pro Tour event.
Yeah.
So I believe he's back at the next Pro Tour event. So if he comes back and he wins, I'll give him the number one place in the world gladly back. Which means Simon Lizotte jumps him up to number 2 in the world. Very well deserved. Simon is one of the, Simon could be the hottest player on tour right now, but he didn't beat Ricky this weekend. So, kind of hard for him to jump Ricky when he didn't beat him.
He's on fire.
Ricky's number 1 player in the world, and I think that's well deserved as well. Ricky, obviously a little knee injury, comes back from it, right back in contention, right back trying to vie for the win.
Yeah. I called it. I said he was coming back with a vengeance, but he also got 2nd place.
Yeah, but he did come back.
I didn't completely call it.
You didn't completely call it, but you kind of called it.
Well, actually, you completely called it.
I put him in 2nd.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I put Simon in 3rd.
So you were right.
So boom, boom.
Boom, boom.
I was close.
Boom, boom, boom. So there it is. Okay. So that's the Grip Lock power ranking update. We'll get Trevor's opinion next week. Yeah. No, next week's July 4th. I don't know what we're doing for July 4th yet.
Tuesday show?
We could do a Tuesday show. Tuesday's going to be kind of busy, though.
Yeah, we're going to be just busy boys.
I don't know.
We should have
Very
a cookout.
busy next week.
We should live stream a cookout.
Like Grip Lock cookout?
Yeah, you can put a camera in cookout and just live stream it. We put it in there and leave.
That's funny.
Thanks, man.
All right, it's time for the fan favorite segment, beating out Trevor's trivia 2-1. Thomas trivia.
Heck yeah.
Whoa.
We're playing. I named this specifically for Silas because I think Silas will love the name.
Oh, sweet.
Factor Cap, disc name.
Oh, yeah.
Edition. Factor Cap, something from TikTok. I didn't make that up.
So this is disc names?
Disc name edition.
Okay.
Oh,
all right.
So essentially, I'm going to give you a disc name. Okay. And you have to tell me, is that actually a disc name?
Oh.
Or is that Cap?
Oh, I like this.
Did I make it up?
That's fun.
So I went through the PDGA approved models. I didn't pick any that I think y'all will know.
You don't have to know any history.
So how's your fingers ready to switch back and forth?
Boom,
Hunter?
boom, boom,
Here's what we're going to do.
Calm down at the table, Hunter.
Y'all, so there's 10 here. Okay? Most points win.
Okay.
And basically what we're going to do is we're going to rotate.
Style.
We're going to start with Konner.
Okay.
Konner's going to give me his answer first, then you give me your answer after. It can be the same as Konner or different.
Okay.
Then the second one, you give me your answer first. Konner gives me his answer after.
So I'm going first. Okay. Or do you rock, paper, scissors for it?
No, I already assigned you.
I already decided that I'm going to listen.
So Konner, Silas, points
I already
are
decided
ready.
I will obey.
All right, Konner.
All right.
The first disc name is The Haze. Is that fact?
Hunter?
Yeah.
Hunter Hayes?
No.
Oh, daggum, Hunter.
Haze.
I think you're starting us off with a cap.
Cap? Silas?
Like H-A-Z-E?
H-A-Z-E. Haze.
Ooh. Oh, whenever you say it like that, for some reason.
Well, I typed them out, so that's how I spelt it. Or that's how they spelt it.
Cap.
Both are saying Cap. Incorrect. It's a brand new disc by All for Frisbee.
I wanted to change my answer because once I heard the spelling, for some reason, once I heard the spelling, I felt good about it.
All right,
I got weird.
It sounds very much like a disc golf.
Like
a disc golfer named that disc, the Haze.
The next name, Silas, this is your answer first.
My answer. Okay.
The System.
The System sounds like MVP. I'm going fact.
Fact.
Well, it's not MVP.
I know, but it just sounds like it. It just sounds mysterious.
Let's get a little separation here. I'm going to say Cap.
And Konner is correct. I made that up.
Goodness.
That's a really good name, though.
Konner at the point.
The System?
I thought so.
That's a really good name.
All right, Konner, back to you. Your answer first here.
The Circle.
The Snap.
Cap.
Fact. Yeah.
It was Cap. Konner with 2 points.
I am terrible with
Also
this.
a good name. You should make your own disc company.
Silas
Discs.
is coming to you first.
Yeah, man.
The White Raven.
Oh my.
That's so specific.
I gotta go fact.
Fact?
I gotta go
The
fact.
White Raven.
I think you made it up again. I'm going Cap.
Cap?
Yeah.
It was fact. It's a disc.
Let's go.
It's a disc by Guru. Yeah. All right, Konner, back to you.
What's the score at right now?
Connor's up 2-1.
All right.
Konner, back to you. The Fish.
I think it's Cap.
I think it's Cap.
Y'all are both correct.
Yeah, I knew you came with that. You're a fish guy. Your name.
It has
your
to be more
my
specific.
thing was like,
it's gotta be more specific.
My thing was, how is there not a fish disc?
Yeah, I feel like for that one I was in your head.
Yeah, I was like, how is there not
Hunter,
one? I searched it.
It's definitely Hunter.
I searched fish on PDJ. I was like, how's there not one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Koi.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's a koi.
Is that called the Fish?
You should make it. Wasn't gonna be a funny joke.
Okay. Silas, we're coming back to you first. Yep. 3-2. Konner's up. Next up, we have the Phoenix.
Oh, it's definitely fact. Yeah.
The Phoenix.
Oh, wait.
No, you locked in.
I know.
You can change your answer.
No, he can't.
That is a plastic.
The Phoenix.
From Yikun, I think.
It is.
Yeah. I feel like it's a
I
disc.
feel like I've heard of a disc called the Phoenix.
You say fact?
Yes.
Okay. He said fact. Konner?
I'm going to say, all right. How many more are there left?
There's 4 more after this
I'm
one.
going fact.
Fact as well?
I want to stay in this a little longer.
You are both correct. It's a disc by Mint.
Okay.
Oh.
4-3.
Mint. That might be where I heard it
Netski.
What? Ned's the class. What are you saying?
Next, we have Konner. The Jet Ski.
Nextski.
Now you see why I said jet ski.
Yeah. Jet ski.
The jet ski.
I really like it. It is Cap, though.
Cap.
That is Cap.
Incorrect. It's fact.
I told you, Silas.
It's a disc by Albatross.
Oh.
All right. Next
I'd like to try a jet ski.
Next up, we have Silas answering first with Cypher. The Cypher.
Love that name.
You were just on System, and it was Cap. Mm-hmm. The Cypher, though?
The Cypher.
Where are you going to go with it, Silas?
The Cypher. I'm not saying decipher.
Decipher.
Like the Cypher.
Cypher.
Yes.
What's a cipher?
I know
anyway.
what siphon is.
I'm going
Cipher.
fact.
Cypher.
I'm going to say Cap, just to mix it up a little.
Y'all are now tied.
Oh!
It was fact.
Tied.
It's a disc by MVP. It just hasn't come out yet, apparently. It got PDG approved.
It seems like the System, the
Interesting.
Cipher, it's MVP.
All right,
Does
4-4.
Gotcha. But except the system he made up.
I did make the system up.
Yeah,
So your thought process is incorrect.
Back to Konner's answer first here. Y'all all are tied up with 2 left. Keep that in mind.
All right.
Konner, the Hydro.
That is Cap.
Dang it. I'm Cap. Yeah.
Incorrect. It's fact. It's a disc by Franklin.
Oh, what?
All right, last disc here.
I was just thinking about you sitting at home and seeing a hydro flask and be like, the hydro.
Yeah.
I thought I was in your head with that one.
That's
I thought I was in your head.
what I
All right, the last disc here, unless we need to go into a bonus round. Starting with Silas first. The Snoopy.
No idea.
I mean, what the crap?
Idea. Can I Google it?
Nope.
The last one was... What was the last one? What was
can't
the
answer
last
that.
one?
I can't
Hydro.
answer. The name was Hydro.
And it was a fact.
I can't answer that.
It was fact.
Yeah.
The Snoopy.
The Snoopy. It's got
I've got my answer already.
fact.
So
I'm going fact.
Fact.
I was going to say fact.
You can if you want. We can push into a bonus round.
I'm like confident that
What
it's
you gonna
fact.
do? What you gonna do?
If you're confident it's fact, you can say fact. You just know you're not going to win. You're going to push to a bonus round.
I want a bonus round. Fact.
It was fact. So good job.
Oh, let's go.
Silas would have won.
It felt right.
Who made that?
Alpha.
Is that copyrighted? Is
Probably
Snoopy copyrighted?
Probably, but
Alpha,
hey,
you're going down. I'm suing.
You're going down,
Alpha,
down,
I'm
baby.
suing.
You're straight in a Range Rover, street sweeper, baby. Hot,
I
ready to
realize
let it go.
Right now, whenever you're singing in my ears while I'm trying to talk, it is like a speech jammer. I was trying to say, Alpha, you're going down. And then while Hunter was singing, I was like, ob, dob, dob, dob.
All right. The next disc up
Konner is up.
Right. I'm up.
Yep.
is...
It's me.
Hello. It's me.
I don't know if I'm going to pick one from this list or if I'm going to pick one with my name. So I'm just
So
scrolling
you're either trying to come up with a name right now,
I'm
or
looking
you're
at
trying
all
to
the discs in front of me.
one.
I'm looking at all the discs in front of me and trying to think of a name near them, or I might just go with one of them.
Big move. You just change the first letter.
Okay. We are
Or
going
not
with...
change the first
Connor,
letter.
you're up first here?
I'm up first here.
All right. We are going Diamondback.
Fact.
That's copyrighted. That's Cap.
How is that-
Diamondback?
Why is that copyrighted?
Isn't that like a mascot of like a
Yes.
baseball team?
Well, yeah,
Yes.
but it's called that because it's an animal. Diamondback.
Oh, it is?
Yeah. Diamondback gorilla.
Okay, well, I'm going Cap.
Cap and fact. It is fact. It's a mint disc.
Oh.
Just got approved April 25th of 2022.
Great name.
Hey,
The
good job,
Diamondback.
Connor.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Looks like a distance driver, maybe fairway. Connor wins.
Wow. I haven't won a trivia in a while. It's because
Great
you're
job.
too good, Hunter. I never went against you. Silas, good job, man. That was fun.
That was fun. That was a good time.
But I am the winner, and you're the loser, so.
You
Gotcha.
are the champion. All right. That was a good time. I like doing trivia.
Yeah, that was
Trevor
fun.
has so much fun
Trivia
with
is
that.
always so much fun.
You know what? Maybe next week I'll put Trevor through Thomas Trivia.
That's a great. I actually like that idea.
We'll just see what happens.
Me and Trevor never get to face off. So
The Celebrity Pro-Am from the Disc Golf Pro Tour happened last year. And during Katrina Allen's interview, they're going to Wisconsin this week for the U.S. Women's Disc Golf Championship.
okay.
Ben Askren's house, where the host of...
Wait. Mm-hmm. Winthrop is throw pink for women. Gotcha.
Yes.
Understand.
Ben Askren's
Very
house,
confused for a
the
second.
host of the Celebrity Pro-Am, is also in Wisconsin.
They're doing that this
Okay.
year?
Well, that's what the thing. I haven't heard anything about it at all.
No.
But then Katrina Allen, in her post-round interview, they were asking her, like, what her week holds, and she's like, well, Monday, Tuesday, I'm actually playing in a golf event with one of my friends, and then,
Like
Wednesday...
golf?
Golf, yeah.
Oh, wow.
And she's like, and then I think she said Wednesday, one of the days around then, we have the Celebrity Pro-Am
Huh.
thing.
Did she say anything about like Ben Askren? Is it like a
No, she
different
said like
thing?
we have she said like the Celebrity Pro-Am, like she was talking about disc golf.
Yeah.
Celebrity Pro-Am. I can't find any information about it online. I did text Brody, and he was like, yeah, it's happening this week. I was like, so they're just not promoting it?
Yeah.
Or
Why
like,
have
what's
we
going,
not heard anything
that's
about
so
it?
what's
weird.
going down? Because Katrina Allen said it in the interview, and so it's going down this week.
They were pushing that like super hard last year.
No idea who's in it, or
No.
it might be because like maybe they decided they're not doing anything live, so maybe they're only doing post produced. So they're like not advertising when the event's happening. They're waiting to advertise like once it's done and like the coverage is coming out.
That would make
Could be.
sense.
Like maybe then it's like already done. So which would be weird because then like social wise, you're gonna be asking pros like not to post on like Snapchat stories with whoever shows
Yeah.
up. We also have no idea which celebrities are going to
also,
be
like
there.
if you're a pro and you get like dead last, like you're not gonna promote it that hard.
No, I mean it's not that serious of an event because
Yeah,
the
but,
celebrity
like,
pro-am, like you're paired up,
But
with
you're
people.
gonna be less motivated.
That's
too.
true. That's true.
So, is we still recording and everything?
Yeah.
Cool. Sorry, I just got a little anxious about it.
Okay.
It's weird being on this side. I don't have any control.
But we're in a unique spot because the celebrity pro-am is apparently happening in a few days, which
Okay.
means this is the last grip lock before the celebrity pro-am goes down.
This is the Celebrity Pro-Am preview.
Well, that just means that we
know
have no
Katrina
idea.
Allen's playing.
We have no idea which
And Brody.
celebrity.
And Brody.
Well, no, Brody's not playing.
Oh,
Brody's not playing.
Brody's not playing.
But we don't know which celebrities are going to be there. So basically, what we're going to
Oh,
play.
we're gonna guess.
Well, we can do it one of two ways. I'll let y'all decide. We can turn a game into it where we guess which celebrities are going to be there, and we just try to actually guess which. I feel like that's way too hard, actually.
Not names, but like kinds of celebrities.
Okay, I mean, if you want to, or
no, just say what you're gonna say.
or we can just say which celebrities we would most want to see in
That's
a
the
celebrity
Oh
pro.
yeah.
All right, so let's just go 3 celebrities each.
Okay.
We'll start with Konner.
Chris Pratt.
Nice,
Great disc golf personality. Why is he
would
not
be.
into disc golf?
he would be. Silas.
Who would I want to be there?
Yeah.
Probably.
I got my other one.
Dang, dude. Do you already have yours?
I have 2 of my 3.
Jeez. Celebrity?
Well, like anyone who's more famous than disc golf. So it could be like a YouTuber.
Chris Pratt was a big one. That's
Chris
a huge
Pratt
one.
is like an A-list celeb. You can go like D-list celeb.
Here we go. Mr. Beast.
That's what I was gonna say.
That was my next one.
That was my next one.
All right, well,
that's a great one.
That is a great one. That's exactly who I was thinking. Ooh, I just got chills. I don't know why.
What?
Not from Mr. Beast. It's just
dude, that 50 million. Oh my goodness, I could win that.
I think my next one. No, you got to hear me out here because this is going to be very controversial.
I'm gonna hear you.
People aren't going to want this person in disc golf, but
oh, I know what you're saying.
The fame that this person would bring and the like promotion they would bring, I think it would get a lot of like good young talent into disc golf, which is Logan Paul.
Oh, that's not who I thought you were going to say.
I like it.
I think it'd be electric. Also, new Logan Paul, kind of like him. Not going to lie.
But
yeah,
old Logan Paul, hated him.
I like his YouTube channel.
I see his podcast clips on TikTok every once in a while. Very funny.
Very funny. Very funny. He also seems pretty. He seems
a lot more chill.
Guy.
Yeah, he seems a lot more mature, a lot more.
Whenever
put
people
together.
start going off on his podcast, he's like, stop.
Yeah, he seems a lot more put together, a lot better head on his shoulders than previous Logan Paul. So
You're
I
right.
think
that would be good.
I think he'd be a good celebrity to have.
Also,
out
I
there.
feel like him and Ben Askren would kind of be have like a great rivalry.
Oh yeah, well, I mean his brother knocked Ben Askren out.
Yeah.
Oh,
true.
That's
all right. I think that I'm gonna go with. I just had somebody in my head and I forgot. Oh, I think that an obvious one would be Bert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, separate thing. Did you guys see Innova's post about Bert?
Somewhat. I forget. I didn't read it.
I don't.
Is he
sponsored
I just
might just not have read it right, but I don't know what the point of it was. It was like the greatest partnership in disc golf ever has been Bert Kreischer and Innova or something like that. But I don't really know what it was for.
Interesting.
Anyway, so yeah, Bert. I'm gonna go Bert.
I'm going to stick on the YouTube theme.
I wanted to.
I'm going to say Dude Perfect.
Oh, that's a great one.
That's such a good one, Silas.
Plus you get 5 for 1.
Yeah.
That's a really good one. That one's almost unbeatable.
Nothing like the
Silas has Dude Perfect and
Mr. Beast.
Mr. Beast.
I mean, you're going off right now. I got Chris Pratt.
I would love to see.
Think about the growth of the sport there.
Ryan Trahan.
Oh.
Super trending right now.
Yeah.
With his Penny Across America. I've been a fan of him for a long time. Back in his Hydra days. Probably didn't know that. Yeah.
Hydra?
Yeah. That was his brand. He was the whole reason he started a YouTube channel.
Like in the Marvel Comics Hydra?
Kind of. He started a YouTube channel way back. He was a runner, track and field runner. He actually went to Texas A&M as a track and field runner. And then he started a YouTube channel to try to get some type of a following so that he could promote the brand he started with his friend, which was water bottles called Hydra. Oh. And I bought a Hydra shirt. It was my favorite shirt, and I lost it.
I'm sorry, man.
And now that Ryan's blown up, I really want it because it's vintage Ryan Trahan merch. It's gone. It was very nice though. But Ryan Trahan, he's been trending literally every day because of his Penny Across America challenge thing. He's also raised $1 million for Feeding America, so also just a great person.
That's so cool.
And yeah, I think it'd be really cool to have him there because he's just trending and popping off right now. He's gained 1.7 million subscribers this month, which is pretty wild.
You want me to say my next one?
Yeah.
This is my last one. And just so you guys know, whenever I'm choosing my people, I'm not choosing people that I'm huge fans of. Well, that's not. I love Chris Pratt. He's one of my favorite actors, and I like Bert fine. But I'm choosing people who I feel like they would vibe really well with disc golf. You know?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna pick a weird one right now. Cole Sprouse.
Okay, I can see it.
Because do you know who that is? The guy
he's like an actor
from Sweet Life of Zach and Cody.
Yeah.
He's Cole Sprouse. One that I can't remember.
He was Cody.
He played Cody.
Yeah.
He was also one of the main characters in Riverdale, which is pretty big, right? Which Riverdale is got a pretty good following right now, so that would kind of get people into it. But main thing is, I think I watched some interviews with him this weekend. My wife and I were on YouTube together, and anytime you're on YouTube with your wife, you're gonna watch what your wife wants to watch.
Yeah.
So we were watching Cole Sprouse interviews, and he's hilarious. And I think that he would fit the vibe of disc golf very well because he's kind of dorky. Disc golf isn't all about being super athletic, so I feel like he'd kind of fit in there. That's it, Cole Sprouse. Weirdest pick. That was definitely the weirdest pick. I will recognize that.
All right. Last one here. I think.
Hey, Konner, dude.
Sorry. She heard me say something and she called me.
Last one. I think we got to go sports. I'm thinking basketball.
Okay.
I don't really know a lot about
Michael
basketball.
Jordan, Kobe Bryant.
Hey, dude.
Dude.
I'm sorry.
Come on,
dude.
That's insensitive.
Steph Curry. Steph Curry.
Steph Curry would be great.
I would
just
love to see him there.
Fresh off a title.
Hakuna Mutombo.
Dikembe Mutombo, and he's very old at this point. The last one, I don't know, man.
Yeah, you got your one more. I'm very excited to hear what it is. So much pressure.
Dude, could you imagine Coach K
You know
playing
what?
disc golf?
Make it a realistic one. Make it a realistic one.
Yeah.
Okay, you're right. Nothing's realistic.
Yeah, realistic one, like...
Never mind.
Okay.
Just say what you were going to say.
Some obscure G League athlete you never heard of that happens like disc golf.
Okay, Trevor, stop.
Yeah, like, Terry Miller was a celebrity last year. Let's go... You know what? I think solely because of one of my earlier picks. I'm going KSI. Because if you have KSI...
Like KSI Miami or KSI New York?
What?
Like
CSI. Yeah, I got it. No, if you have Logan Paul there, KSI...
I don't know what KSI is.
They're like best friends now, right?
Now they are, yeah. They have Prime together. He's like the biggest content creator. He's a part of Sidemen.
Gotcha.
Actually, you know what? We can just say Sidemen. Bring KSI and the rest of the Sidemen together. So let's just go with the Sidemen.
There you go.
Because you went with a group with Dude Perfect.
Yeah, I think
I'll
that's
go
fair.
with the Sidemen because that's going to bring a whole European audience to the Celebrity Pro-Am. Plus, if you have Logan Paul and KSI in the same building,
what's that K-pop group?
BTS.
BTS.
If you have
that's my fourth pick.
If you have Logan Paul and KSI at the same event, like it's going to get massive no matter what it is.
That's true.
So then you're getting like a worldwide reach with the Sidemen. Yeah, I think I'm going Sidemen.
I think it's a good.
That's a smart
pick.
one.
Boom. All right, so there you go.
Is disc golf big in Korea?
No.
Unfortunate. I get the Paul McBeth Foundation on that.
The Celebrity Pro-Am. Yeah, I'm sure at least half those people will be there. No. Realistically,
definitely Chris Pratt and definitely Mr. Beast.
Here's what I'll say. The fact that it's happening Wednesday and we haven't heard anything tells me they don't have any celebrities.
Yeah, I would assume.
I would assume like they're going to have...
The most realistic would be Bert, but I don't know.
Bert
Dylan
when he was on...
Bert.
Well, the tough part is like...
comedian guy, Andrew Long.
Oh.
Does he play disc golf?
No.
What?
You know what I'm talking about? He was like, he did a show at one of the events. Corey Wong?
Oh, Corey Wong. He's not a comedian.
He's a musician.
Oh,
yeah, they definitely have Corey Wong there.
That'd be realistic.
That'd be great.
I'm still ticked off. Last year, Barstool Big Cat was supposed to be there. Big Cat?
Yeah. That's what I thought your pick was going to be.
Yeah.
Well, no, because like realistically, I wouldn't pick him to be like a celebrity that's bringing his audience with in the disc golf. But he was supposed to be there last year, and I was there last year, which meant I got to meet Big Cat.
Yeah.
And then apparently something fell through. He said, I'm not coming unless I can bring one of my friends to also be on it. And the Pro Tour told him no or something. I don't know the full ins and outs, but
why would they say
I hope
no?
that person got fired.
Yeah, why would they
and
say no?
Big Cat didn't show up. And that's me, personal vendetta. I hope that person got fired. Not any reason for the sport. I wanted to be Big Cat. It is what it is. I love part of my take. All right. Final two things, really quick little points here before we do, because we'll have the U.S. Women's preview show later this week. Silas is officially coming to Charleston.
Yeah.
I think last week it wasn't official yet.
Yeah. That was a week ago today, wasn't it?
Possibly.
No, that was tomorrow.
A week ago tomorrow, yeah.
Yeah.
That we had Silas do his presentation. He made it. If you haven't seen the vlog yet on Foundation Nation, it's a new series called Behind the Door. It gives you a little behind the scenes look into stuff going on behind the door at Foundation. And you can see Silas's full presentation there that got him to go to Charleston.
Very fun.
We're very excited.
I watched it again yesterday, just to let you know.
Yeah.
Hunter showed it to me already, and I watched it again yesterday whenever it was actually uploaded. Very fun. Yeah. I enjoyed getting an inside look, and I was here.
Yeah.
So you definitely check that out if you haven't yet. And then Charleston, if you're in the area, be sure, the Creators Cup has been announced. There's a few more creators that are possibly coming to that. Super excited about that. Foundation Charleston's going to be opening, and Silas is going to be there to stir the pot the whole week.
He should be there to stir the pot.
No, so I also get a lot of content created. You know, we're still trying to decide the best ways to utilize them.
Maybe I can get Silas to do more of my things, and I can be in more videos.
I was gonna say, part of me thinks the Creators Cup, like, we could definitely sub you in. Possibly, we're gonna meet and more talk about like coverage of the Creators Cup later, and see is that something like both of y'all are gonna tackle, or depending on how we cover it, Silas could film it and you like play in it. We'll figure that out later. The other thing that went down this week is I played my first round all gyro, and it went incredibly well. That's all I'm gonna say about it.
Can I say something about it?
You can say something about it.
Hunter just sends me and Trevor a text Saturday. And it's just a scorecard picture of New London, and he said all gyro bags feeling good or something like that, and it says 10 under. And Trevor and I both had the same immediate response, which was, "Holy crap, he's lying!" But then it was
the short tees.
Yeah, it was New London shorts.
What do you mean? They're still difficult. I looked at the.
Well, they're a very difficult course. 10 under is incredible.
The best score recorded on UDisc is a 12 under.
Dang!
So I was 2 strokes off that.
Who is it?
I don't know. I didn't know him.
Oh.
Rozak's best score was 4 strokes worse than me.
Dang.
So that was one of my best rounds. Yeah, Rozak.
Get some
suck
gyro,
on that,
Rozak.
Yeah, suck on my gyro, Rozak.
You can't say that.
Why?
Okay.
Anyways. So yeah, the gyro though, it's flying good. The catalyst is pretty sick. One thing that's annoying about it.
Run us through favorite discs that you
Favorite disc is 4. Favorite 4. The catalyst. Distance driver flies kind of like a somewhat beat-in nuke. So flies flies for 17? Me like an overstable nuke for Brody, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Like it'll flip up a little bit, dead straight hyzers.
Okay.
The Insanity, I was absolutely loving. It was hyzer flipped and turning for me.
Was it?
It's a 9-speed.
Okay.
Was it insane?
Yeah. So hole two is I got it on video, not me throwing, but where it landed. Hole 2 at New London.
Yeah.
Shorts is like.
Still difficult.
500 some feet, 520, 530, and I was within 100 feet throwing the Insanity.
What?
I threw a hyzer flip to turnover. I was like just shy of that little tree on the corner.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
the hyzer flip there is so hard because you're kind of pinched.
Yeah, it flipped up, rode over slowly. It was one of the best shots I've ever thrown.
That's incredible.
The Fission Crave.
Okay.
Goes so far. It's a 6-speed.
I heard a lot of things about the Crave.
Yeah, it's a 6-speed, very neutral. Flies very similar to an FD.
Okay.
Very similar to an FD, but a little more flip, but more fade.
Okay.
So like it'll get up to flat, which the new FDs won't really, go dead straight and then fade hard. Love that. And then the Envy has been incredible.
Okay.
I'm throwing them very far. And I have a beat up Electron one that like flips and turnovers.
I love Trevor just put one in his bag too.
Yeah,
I want to put one in my bag,
Envy's
but
great. The one thing I've noticed though so far that I'm not sure why this is, everyone that recommends me discs tells me they're flippier than they are. Which typically I would just think, oh, they throw farther than me. But they compare them directly to discs that I throw, and they're not even similar. Like the Catalyst, people are like, oh, the Catalyst is great. It's just like strikes. Just like a strike. And the strikes I've thrown are like hyzer flip to roll. Like they're like the Hades, where like you have to like, it's very, very hard to find a good strike. The Catalyst is way more stable. The Catalyst is more stable than my Domi Hades.
Yeah.
Like it's more stable than any strike I've ever seen in my life. And then some people have told me about, I forget what the other disc was. They told me like, you're going to want a Volt and a Terra in your bag because the Volt's way too straight. The Volt's as overstable as like my CE Firebird. Like, and I have 2 different Volts in my bag. And like I've tried them in like different plastics, and Neutron's allegedly one of the like flippier plastics, and that's what my Catalyst and my Volt are in.
Dang,
way more stable than people said. So like I don't know if it's like people throw with more spin than me or something, but like some of these players like they'll say, yeah, I throw like 300, 320, and then they tell me how a disc flies, and I'm like, how is that disc flipping for you? But like hole 5, for instance, hole 5 short tee at New London. It's basically like it's short of where a good drive lands at the bottom of the hill. Okay. I decided I'm going to just rip this Catalyst and see if I can clear the lake. I cleared the lake by like 100 feet. I was almost at the woods.
Dang.
Yeah. Like I just had like,
And the Catalyst is that's
like the nuke
one? Okay.
Yeah. But I ripped it flat and used it flex. It went a little over 400 feet uphill. Like, I mean,
dang,
insane throw for me. Yeah. One of the farthest throws I've ever had. But then like people are telling me it's a strike. I'm like, a strike would have rolled every time.
That's crazy.
I threw it basically flat, like very little bit of hyzer, and it got up and turned a little bit.
You feel like you're getting more distance on all of them?
The Catalyst definitely goes farther, but it's faster than anything that was in my bag.
Yeah, you didn't throw anything that fast.
So it's tough to know. I think I won't really know. I will say the Hex seems to go farther than my mids, but I was throwing rocks, and the Hex is a 5-speed. So, of course, that goes a little farther.
Yeah. Something I am excited about you going full gyro is something we haven't tested with gyro. That's durability.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I've heard any information on the durability of gyro.
We're going to find out.
And so I'm interested to see
I will
how
say I threw my
out.
Insanity a few times, and there's some big chunks in the rim from hitting a gravel road.
Okay.
But it flew the exact same.
Oh,
so
interesting.
I don't know. Well, we'll definitely learn as I go because I'm doing this for 30 days.
I'm glad that you're doing it.
What I'm very excited for is at the end of the 30 days, the bag that I have, my old bag, I know like the back of my hand. So I'm not scared I'm going to lose, like I'm going to play worse with that bag because I won't remember how discs fly. A lot of those discs are like some of the oldest discs I've ever had in my bag. So I'm not worried about forgetting how those discs fly. So basically at the end of the 30-day challenge video, I'm going to go out and probably play Lynchburg College or something like that, where it's like a good enough challenge. Maybe I'll play New London Shorts, but I'll play it twice. And then I'm going to go to the field and throw them next to each other and just see what we're looking at. Like throw my Hades and then throw the Catalyst and just see like what they fly like and stuff like that, and just see what differences I notice with the gyro bag. Because what I feel like is if they do actually go farther, my game will adjust to all these discs actually going farther.
That's true.
And then I'll get out and I'll throw my rock, my
you'll be able to tell for sure.
Yeah, because like I will be able to tell right now because I'm throwing all MVP.
Yeah.
I will say there was multiple times that I was looking for a disc during that round. I couldn't find it. I was getting very frustrated, and it was like 50 feet farther than where I thought it was.
Dang.
There's multiple times that happened, but it didn't feel like when I got to where I was, it didn't feel like when I looked back at the tee, it didn't feel like I threw drastically farther, but it just like mentally, I walked, I was like, this is where this disc is. And it was farther every time.
Dang.
But I'm not going to claim that they're going farther.
Yeah.
It just, that was something I noticed, was if I was ever looking for a disc and couldn't find it, I was like, okay, well, walk a little farther, and then I found it every time.
Now, can I ask you another question?
Yeah.
You're going to be a little vulnerable for this one.
Absolutely.
Because you and I come from similar backgrounds with MVP. Do you feel a little self-conscious whenever people see you on the course and you have all gyro?
Will I? Absolutely. I will tell them. I will immediately I'm doing a challenge.
What about in Charleston whenever you're throwing all gyro?
Charleston, not so much because like everyone there is going to know I'm doing a challenge. But like that's the whole reason I did this challenge.
It's pretty...
That's the whole reason is because, and I even said it at the beginning, in 2015, 2016, when like MVP was first coming out, I was one of the guys that was like, if someone threw it and like told me it went farther, I didn't make fun of them, but I was like, these people are idiots.
If someone was playing through and they're throwing MVP, I didn't watch the shot. I just said they're not good at disc golf.
I immediately said they're a rec player that bought into this is going to make them throw farther every single time.
And I regret thinking that.
I do too at this point, but that's the whole reason I'm putting myself through this challenge is like everyone who has heard I'm doing this challenge that throws gyro says you'll never go back. And I was like, well, that's a bold statement because you don't know how much I love my Thunderbirds.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I could see my bag being 50% gyro because there are a few molds that I'm throwing that I'm like the Envy. I don't think that's ever coming out of my bag.
The Envy is such a good disc.
Such a good disc. The Entropy was already in my bag. The Hex, it's going to be tough for me to get. I can already tell I'm going to love the Hex. It's going to be tough for that to come out of my bag. The Crave, going to be really tough for my FD to go back in my bag.
Is that replacing KC rocks?
How's your Hex fly?
It's like a beat up KC, but like the speed of a Buzz.
Gotcha.
So just like right out of the box, it flips up to flat, just dead straight.
So it's just a better KC.
I wouldn't say better. No,
Silas?
it's because a KC Rock is
I'm
slow
use a
by.
guillotine on you.
I know. I'm gonna get creamed by the comments.
No, the comments don't like KC.
They'll agree with you.
Oh.
We just hate you.
No, the thing is, a KC Rock is slow by nature. Like it's meant to be slow.
Yeah.
Like KC mid is meant to be a mid range. When you get fast mid ranges, then it blurs the fairway driver.
That is the one thing about gyro is not like you don't necessarily want every shot to go as far as possible.
No,
Right.
well, that's the thing is like I did notice a few times that I was like looking. I was like, do I throw my Envy here or do I like go with a mid? Because if I go mid, it's going too long. But like Envy, I think I can get there.
Yeah.
I can get there with the Envy every time. So like it is, but I'm not a big putter thrower, so I don't like that
Yeah.
per se. Because like I don't like having to power up on putters. But that's what you kind of have to do.
Yep.
But the Envy flies so good. I don't think that's ever coming out. It's going to be tough for the Crave to come out, to be honest with you. And the Catalyst, I really think I'm going to fall in love with it. I'm on like the fence right now of like I'm still learning the angles that it likes and doesn't like. But I really think I'm going to like it. And the Photon flew great for me forehand. But it's just it flies just like a destroyer or a wraith. So like,
that's what I was. The Photon's supposed to be like a destroyer.
The Photon, like as soon as this challenge is over, destroyers are going back in.
Oh, gotcha.
Like it's not. I can tell it's not going to push destroyer out.
Mm-hmm.
It feels great. It flies great. I just love destroyers.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, I think I'll definitely have more gyro in my bag after this whole challenge. But I'm very excited for it.
That's cool because you were looking pretty grim after your first field testing.
Fieldwork experience and then course experience, two different things.
Okay,
two completely different things.
Because everything was stable in the field.
Yeah, well, I think it. Yeah, I don't know what happened. I don't know. I think I might have just been
maybe you just weren't throwing hard. I
think
day.
I might have just not been throwing good that day. So I think I got to give
that field does
more.
it. Have you ever felt like you were throwing far in that field?
I've gotten good throws in that field, yeah.
I've never been in that field.
My discs will react the way they react on the course in the field, but for some reason that day, like none of the discs flew the way they flew for me yesterday.
If I stand in that field, throw as hard as I can, it's going at half the distance than if I walk 50 feet to the right and stand on the tee pad for hole 3.
No, that's just true about field work in general. So, all right, well, that's going to wrap it up. Don't forget to check out our preview show for the USWDGC and possibly check out the Celebrity Pro-Am if that ever gets posted about. I don't know, it might just be something fun for pros.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe the pros just get to play with the celebrities and there's no coverage and we don't get to see it.
Yeah.
Who knows? But we'll talk to you later this week. And then Trevor will be back next week. So if you hate us and just are waiting for Trevor next week.
It's going to be just Trevor next week.
But then you listen to this whole show, so you must not hate us. We'll talk to you next week.
Okay,
no, we'll talk to you next week.